And welcome to this edition of ACAP Today for this week, the week of June 1st, 2020. I'm Jason Parent. On this week's edition of ACAP Today, we're going to talk with Suzanne Senechal-Jandreau, who is a board member here at ACAP and chair of the Community Development Committee, as well as Sherry Locke, ACAP's Resource and Communication Development Manager. She's going to speak with us, both of them are going to speak with us about the community assessment that we just launched yesterday, June 1st, and why that's so important. But before we get to that, we are going to first look at the news and information that you can use for this week, valuable pieces of information for our community on how we're helping during this COVID-19 pandemic. The first is to remind individuals that our offices do remain closed to the public until further notice, and then we will be specifying otherwise. Our early care and education programs, specifically childcare, will be getting underway next week, and those families have been notified of the opening of the centers just for their children at this point. We are still able to reach and connect with you. One of the new ways that we're doing that, effective June 1st, is to provide curbside assistance to individuals, specifically those who come here to our 771 Main Street and Presque Isle facility. If you can just call us from your car, or if you don't have a phone, just come to the door and ring the doorbell, and we will communicate with you, and we'll send someone out to your vehicle where we will be able to get any documents that you might have and certainly help you in any way that we can from your vehicle. The curbside assistance is offered at other facilities as well, just with advance notification. So please do let a staff member at another facility know if you are requesting curbside assistance at any one of our other facilities, and they will make arrangements to help you at the time that you appoint to have that curbside service rendered to you. We also want to remind folks of our Navigator Service. This is really an opportunity for individuals who aren't certain but know that they are in need of assistance, aren't certain how to navigate the services that they might be looking for. Please do contact us if you think that you could be served by these individuals. We now have 3 of them that are working across Aroostook County and helping individuals to connect using some of the CARES Act funding that we received through the Community Services Block Grant to support this work countywide. They're a great resource and very knowledgeable about not only the programs and services that we offer, but some of our partner agencies as well. ACAP is also, as we look to provide Navigator services to individuals across the county, are also providing services through a special contract with the Department of Health and Human Services to provide quarantine support services for any individuals who are asked to go into quarantine. We are serving as a resource to be able to provide those individuals and connect those individuals with services, whether that's food or other services, including connecting them into lodging. We are working remotely to offer these services for the protection of our staff and for the public at large, but certainly wanted to make the community aware that we are offering these services effective yesterday, June 1st. If you are in need of ACAP services and picking up the phone is not convenient, or we are not open at the time that you are looking to connect with us, please do consider going online to request assistance online. The button that is indicated on the screen here on our website will provide you with information to complete a short profile, and that information will actually allow us to reach out to you and have information that we need to determine what programs you may be eligible for before we even return your call. So please do consider using this as another resource to connect with us. ACAP is also hiring at this time. We have a number of open positions and encourage folks to check this out and to see if they have the skills and the education for each of these positions, but we certainly would love for community members to join our ACAP team. We can do all of the hiring and screening process remotely at this time, including new employee orientation. The Aroostook Cash Coalition is pleased to announce that they are starting tax prep today, June 2nd. The Aroostook Cash Coalition is led by the United Way of Aroostook and sponsored by the County Federal Credit Union. ACAP, New Ventures Maine, and many other organizations are part of the Cash Coalition. So today is the day. They are recommending safety precautions to protect both the client and the volunteer preparers, including having a mask, one person per household, and bringing your own pen to provide the signatures that are needed. So if you have not yet filed your 2019 taxes, and the deadline for that has been extended to July 15th, and your household income is below $56,000, contact the United Way of Aroostook to see when you can get an appointment in for this very valuable and helpful service. We also want to remind folks that we have a tobacco cessation program here at the agency. In these challenging times, we are available to help with that as well. Elaine Sipe leads this program for us, and it is offered online. She can work with you one-on-one, and there are also group online classes and support meetings that are being held at this time. So please do reach out to us. Elaine's contact information is there for you on the screen, and reach out to her directly if you are in need of or want more information about this program. Our wellness shelter for individuals experiencing homelessness, the Hope and Prosperity Wellness Shelter, is available at the University of Maine at Presque Isle. We certainly encourage you, if you know anyone who is experiencing homelessness or is housing insecure and may benefit from connecting with these services, please do connect with us here at ACAP, and we will connect you with these services and the great staff that work there as well. The rental assistance program that Maine Housing had issued for the months of April and May has served over 430 Aroostook County households at this time. We are anticipating information on a potential rental assistance program for the month of June, as well as for July coming forward. And as soon as we have that information, we will get it to you. This program is still available for individuals who have not yet paid their May rent and are having difficulty doing so because of COVID-19 or any circumstances related to that, including job loss or fewer hours. So we encourage you to contact us or visit mainehousing.org/COVID rent to complete the application online. Head Start is currently accepting applications for our fall 2020 sessions, so please do contact us at 768-3045 if you would like to know whether your child or your family is eligible for our Head Start Services program. It is for children age 5 and below, and we certainly encourage you to contact us and ask for more information. It's a wonderful program to help children be ready for school, but one that also works with the entire family. And we also wanted to let folks know that our healthcare navigation services are available for especially individuals at this time who have experienced challenges with employment at this time, including job losses. That is a qualifying event to get into the health insurance marketplace. Please do contact us if you are in need of assistance or have any questions related to healthcare coverage. The Home Energy Assistance Program continues to take applications through July 15th for this current season. Now, I mentioned that it's for this current season, but any benefit that you receive will stay on your account for up to 18 months. So we certainly encourage households that have seen a financial impact from COVID-19, and even those who have not. If you, for example, applied for the Home Energy Assistance program several years ago, we encourage you to apply again as the financial guidelines have changed. Those are available on our website if you'd like to see what they are, but they have increased since last season, so many more county households would be eligible. And now is the time to apply. We're getting appointments in same week, as opposed to if you call in September or October, your appointment will likely be in January or February. So now is the time to call for that. Our workforce development team is also hard at work and are working with customers who are seeking employment. Please do consider giving them a call if you need assistance with career assessments, career counseling, job search assistance, and other programs and services that are available. We know many people have been impacted and their employment has been impacted by COVID-19, and these services are available to you. And now we are going to speak about our community needs assessment, and to do that we are going to welcome, as I indicated at the top of the broadcast, Suzanne Senechal-Jandreau, an ACAP board member who chairs our Community Development Committee, and Sherry Locke, our Development and Communication Manager. Suzanne, let me start with you. I mentioned the ACAP Board of Directors and the Community Development Committee. Before we get into the community assessment, what is the Community Development Committee of our board?
Yeah, our committee meets on a regular basis to really assist Sherry in her position, and it's our focus is to do outreach to the community at large in terms of letting them know who ACAP is, what we're doing, what the services we're providing, and then collect information about from them as well about what they'd like to see. ACAP doing, and when we're doing special events or activities to help market and get the word out about those.
So I know that your team was working on a great work plan for 2020. Along came COVID-19, so much of your community engagement activity has obviously been curtailed, but this is one piece of very important work. Tell folks about the community assessment and what it's all about.
Sure. The community assessment is to gather information from the community, our community at large, community members, our neighbors, our friends, our coworkers, about what the needs are in Aroostook County households. So what do your family members need for services and support? You know, we're doing that through the distribution of a community needs assessment survey that they can access either electronically, but we'll also provide paper surveys to do that. And then we'll move forward with some focus groups and other types of one-on-one or other types of meetings with folks to find out exactly what their needs are, what they feel that they need to be productive citizens, and what kind of support services they need to you know, move forward with whatever plans they have, goals they have, emotional health needs, all any kind of need.
So Sherry, Locke, talk to me about the survey and what folks can expect when they log on. What kind of questions are being asked of folks, and what is the survey like?
So the survey in its current form is digital, so it is available on SurveyMonkey. And as Suzanne explained, our Community Development Committee met and went through those questions. We really wanted to get go through a wide variety of questions, starting with some basic demographic information, but then we move into specific things that families need, whether they have, you know, school-age children and what those needs are, if they have, you know, older adults living in their homes and what challenges they may be finding. We really focused on housing and health and wellness, transportation needs, you know, behavioral health services. We really want to cast a wide net, Jason, to find out how we can better, as an agency, provide for our community, and really what those struggles are for folks. This is something that we're required to do every 3 years through our community service block grant. So again, the last survey was done in 2017, and we want to see what in our community has changed. Have there been new programs created to help fill some of those gaps, and if there are any current challenges that we may not be addressing. And again, we're really trying to cast the biggest net that we can, but we also didn't want to make the survey overwhelming. The survey is currently just under 50 questions. It takes approximately 9 minutes to do this online, and the data that we're going to collect will help shape our work for the next 3 years.
Suzanne, the survey itself really is just the start of a process for a community action agency like ACAP. The information that's collected from this, in addition to being shared with the community, does actually have a direct impact on the services we provide, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's why we need people to complete it, because we don't know, we can't make assumptions about what people in our community need without asking them what their needs are. And so if there are things happening that we're not addressing, then we don't know that if we don't ask. So that's exactly why we are asking people to do this survey. And I know it may seem daunting to answer, as Sherry said, you know, 50 questions, but it doesn't take that much time. I did it myself. It took me about 8 minutes. And we want to, you know, Sherry alluded to, you know, casting a large net. We want to reach as many people as we can, because that will give us an accurate reflection of what's really happening in our community.
And Sherry, we're not alone by any means in doing a community assessment. It is something that is done nationwide by all CAPs, is it not?
That is correct. It is the requirement from our funder at the Community Service Block Grant that we do this every 3 years. So it is something that is done nationwide. The piece that I love most about this, though, is that our results are local, and we're able to make local decisions based on the needs of the people in our own community. And that includes, you know, the staff at ACAP, the board at ACAP, the clients that we serve, community partners. We really want to hear all of those voices loudly so that we can make those best decisions moving forward. The needs in Southern Maine, the needs across the country are very different than the needs in Aroostook County. And this survey provides us with data specific to our community, even specific by region and the town that you live in, allowing us to shape our work to better serve.
What happens with this data? This is the first part of the process. That's the community assessment, is the questionnaire, but what happens next beyond that?
So the data is then analyzed and reviewed. It's integrated with other data that's available, census information, other assessments that are done in our community. Specifically, there's some health assessments that are done that are great. And then it allows us to get a true comprehensive understanding of the needs in our community. It looks at the big picture. And again, this is just one piece. Focus groups and one-on-one conversations are included in that. In different, those voices are brought into this, again, is so that we can have as a comprehensive as possible survey to then use that information to devise at our agency our strategic plan. But I know many other agencies use the community survey that ACAP puts together to help with grant writing. It gives us a very clear path to funding and resources outside of Aroostook County, because we're able to really share our story and have the data to support that.
In terms of the assessment itself, the questionnaire component of it, we are actually incentivizing folks, because we really want to hear from all folks. Talk about some of the incentives for completing the survey.
Yes, so we have a total of $500 that we will draw randomly for folks to take this survey. And again, that money can be used to help with household expenses. We know that a lot of families are feeling a little bit of additional pressure at this time. So it can be used for food or utilities, or how folks choose. We are doing our first drawing Monday, June 8th. Because we wanted to get a big push out of the gate. So we're going to be doing a drawing on Monday, and one lucky winner will be winning $100. And we will continue doing drawings throughout the duration of this survey, really to incentivize folks for sharing their voice with us.
Great. Suzanne, the last time we did one of these community assessments a few years back, the top two sort of resulting areas or greatest need that were identified by folks in Aroostook County were transportation and circumstances related to the opioid epidemic. We're doing this survey obviously at an unprecedented time. Do you anticipate that some of those themes from the last time will carry over? And I know this is a crystal ball kind of question, but what do you see as some things that will be emerging as a result of the circumstances that we're currently facing?
Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if those do resurface as issues that remain, but I would also point out that a lot has been done to apply some service provision in response to that last survey. So, we can build on services that we're already providing if the need is still there, and I do anticipate that some of that need will be still there. We're addressing it, but I'm sure there's more work to be done. And, I think COVID-19 certainly brings us to a new place of assessing needs during a crisis. So, assessing how our community is responding to that crisis and meeting the needs is something that we anticipate we will be able to do as we are referring to COVID-19 and some of the questions that are provided on the survey, and asking people to specifically address some needs related to that. So, it can assist us in identifying issues and conditions that are contributing to our community's ability or inability to respond to that crisis, and how we might improve any responses in the future.
Sherry, I know that we say that we do this every 3 years, but that we might be doing this again in the really near future because of an effort to do greater alignment across the state. I want to talk about that effort briefly.
I do. So there are 10 community action agencies across the state of Maine, and we feel that there would be a big value in having all 10 of us on the same cycle. So not only would we have local data, but we would also have statewide data, again, to show the strengths and challenges that each region has, but that we also have together. So that is the hope for next year, is that we'll all get on the next cycle. Saying that, though, I feel like 2020 is the perfect time to be doing this assessment. COVID-19 has provided many challenges, but I think it's also a time for us to gather additional information about how our community is responding to this pandemic and how the community has pivoted to meet those emerging needs in such a short period of time. So although we may be doing this again next year, I see this 2020 assessment as a huge tool to help us during COVID-19 and post-COVID-19, and to allow us to continue to meet those needs in the best way possible.
Now, we've been talking a lot about the survey and the fact that it's electronic, but we will be making it available for folks who prefer not to do it that way or who cannot access it electronically. How's that effort going to happen, Sherry, in the coming weeks?
Yeah, so we started with the electronic copy because of social distancing. We thought that would be the easiest way to get it out. We do have a large social media following, and we do have a lot of folks that visit our website. So it seemed like the natural way to start. But with that being said, we know the value of those paper surveys. So our team will be working on getting those out next week. We will get those out to clients and then they can mail them back to us. Of course, we will be paying for the postage because we don't want costs to impede people from completing the survey, but that will be the next phase. We will continue with the electronic copy while the paper copies are out there as well. But we did want to roll it out in the 2 phases. And then we will be moving on to the focus groups, the community forums, probably in a virtual format, but we do know that there is a value in those in addition to the surveys.
Great. What haven't we mentioned, Suzanne, that you wanted to make sure folks knew about the community assessment?
I think that the fact that the assessment helps other community-based organizations in terms of, ACAP's willingness to share the results of the survey widely. And so those of us who work in other organizations are also able to benefit from this information and try to address the needs and, partner together and collectively address needs. So I think it does inform ACAP, but it also informs our other community-based organizations as well.
Great. Sherry, your last thoughts, and then lastly, how can folks access the electronic survey, which is out now?
Absolutely. I just want to say a huge thank you to the Community Development Committee. They truly went through each and every question. We're so thoughtful about the questions that we were asking and to ensure that we were asking all the right questions, but we probably, and we cut it down a lot. I mean, we could have asked hundreds of questions, but they were very thoughtful about the community and the use of time and what those results, what questions we needed, what results we needed. So they really did a great job. The survey is available. There's a link on the ACAP Facebook page. There's also a link on the ACAP website. Again, we're encouraging everyone to take this survey. It's so important that we have lots of different groups involved in this survey sharing their information. All of the results are confidential. We are doing the drawing for the winner, but the name and that contact information is not shared along with the survey. They are 2 very separate things. So I think that's important. We want people to be very honest, and if your family has needs, we really want to know about that so we can better address those moving forward.
Great. Sherry Locke, Suzanne Senechal-Jandreau, thank you both for joining us on this week's ACAP Today. Appreciate it, and encourage folks, as the 2 of you do, to get online and to complete the survey. And if that's not possible, be on the lookout for paper copies that will be distributed through partner organizations and others in the near future. So before we leave you today, I wanted to just remind folks in terms of reaching out for assistance that aristicommunity.com is still a resource available to you. Please do feel free to go online and post a question or the opportunity to provide assistance for others, and we'll help make that connection happen through this website. So please do log on, or if you are unable to, call us at 764-3721 and we can help you with your immediate need, or if we don't have the immediate answer, can post your query online and hope that others will help respond to that request. And lastly, as we remind you to reach out to us, as Sherry indicated, you can find the link to the questionnaire or to the survey on acap-me.org. It's also available through Facebook on ACAP's Facebook location, as well as we remind folks to look us up on YouTube and check out the wonderful programs that have been provided provided by our early care and education and prevention professionals there. You can email us at acap-info@acap-me.org, but please do reach out if you are in need of any assistance or have any questions. And lastly, our snapshot of the week. This is Garrett Gives from his great big 11-year-old superhero heart. This is Garrett Swanson, who we are pleased to introduce you to. He celebrated his 11th birthday last week and gifted our community cupboard with non-perishable food items to help families in need. During his birthday parade, Garrett and his family asked friends and family for food items to help others in the community. This community cupboard is located here at 771 Main Street in Presque Isle near Walmart, but there are several out there in Aroostook County, in Mars Hill, in Parham, in Mapleton, Washburn, other local communities, Caribou. There are throughout Aroostook County. Please do look for your local community cupboard and consider making a donation there as well. So thank you to Garrett, thank you to Suzanne and Sherry, and thank you to all of you for tuning in for this episode of ACAP This Week, ACAP Today. We will see you next week with another new edition. Have a great week, everyone.